Ron Johnson? He's the Republican senator from Wisconsin who put forth the ridiculous conspiracy theory that the MAGA mob who attacked the Capitol, well, they were really just fake Trump supporters pulling a prank on us. Ha. I guess nobody was buying that theory because Johnson is now trying a new approach. He's speaking from his heart. In a radio interview last week, Johnson told us what he really thinks of the violent insurrectionists of January 6th, essentially defending them as model citizens. Never mind that they laid siege to the Capitol, leaving 5 people dead. The real threat, according to Johnson, is Black Lives Matter.
On January 6th, I never felt threatened because I didn't. I knew those are people that love this country, that truly respect law enforcement, would never do anything to break a law. And so I wasn't concerned. Now, had the tables been turned, and Joe, this got me in trouble. Had the tables been turned and President Trump won the election, and those were tens of thousands of Black Lives Matter and Antifa protesters, I might have been a little concerned.
In other words, Ron Johnson is more afraid of black people seeking racial justice than the violent majority white mob that tried to decapitate our government. That's the kind of overt bigotry that even racists used to utter only in private or from under white hoods. But let's take a look at the insurrectionists, whom Johnson broadly described as loving this country. They would seem to include this guy who was arrested for breaching the Capitol in January. He's an Army reservist, and if it isn't already apparent from that mustache, is apparently an Adolf Hitler enthusiast. This is a guy who, according to an eyewitness, said Hitler should have finished the job. And he allegedly believes that babies born with any deformities or disabilities should be shot in the forehead. Doesn't sound like somebody you'd invite over to a post-vax barbecue, but as Ron Johnson's comments would suggest, he loves this country just like you or me or, say, I don't know, senators who spend their Independence Days in Moscow, where the Kremlin is, like Ron Johnson. According to Johnson, it wasn't scary at all that extremists were chanting, "Hang my pants," or that the lynch mob erected an actual gallows with a noose on the National Mall. Ron Johnson said he's not afraid of people who wear sweatshirts that say Camp Auschwitz. No. And he definitely wasn't scared of those who beat police officers so severely that they were left with concussions, severed fingers, and a gouged out eyeball. No. Ron Johnson says those people truly respected law enforcement. I guess that also includes the 2 arrested yesterday for assaulting Brian Sicknick, the U.S. Capitol Police officer, who later died from the injuries he sustained that day. Apparently all of that is A-OK in the world of Ron Johnson. And the silence from members of his own party, yeah, well, that means they don't disagree with him either, apparently. And I guess old Ron running from the Capitol that day along with everyone else was like, it was like Josh Hawley's fist pump, only with his legs. I mean, he wasn't too cowardly to face his zip tie and bear spray wielding America-loving friends. No, he was just enthusiastic on his feet. Today, Johnson insisted there was nothing racial about what he said, and he's accusing his critics of playing the race card, which completely coincidentally is exactly what people who say racist things claim, other than, I had an attack of the sugars, when it's pointed out that what they said was racist. Crazy how that works. And that's why, Wisconsin Senator Ron Johnson, you are the absolute worst.